Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me once again. I wanted to do another video on the Hamas and Israel situation here. I wanted to cover something here that I consider to be very positive, and that is that there are hundreds of Hollywood actors and celebrities who are signing some type of a form or petition to come against the barbaric attacks of Hamas against innocent Israelis. And I think that this is good news. And I want to really get right into this article because I think this is very good news. It's positive because you have so many people, unfortunately, that is supporting what they're doing. But when I read you this article, you're gonna understand that it's not just about Jews and Palestinians or Palestinians against Jews and Jews. It's not about that. It's about humanity. And there is no justification for what they are doing. And if you've been watching the news, you know good and well that if these accounts are accurate, that the things that they're doing are barbaric and evil. So let's get right into this article because I think this is good news. Because you have a lot of people that are in support. You have some celebrities and you have some politicians supported, but we're going to get into that. Hundreds of Hollywood actors and executives, from Michael Douglas to Jerry Seinfeld to Gail Gadot, I think that's how you Gadot, I think that's how you pronounce the name. Forgive me for butchering. You know I'm not good with these names. Have signed a letter expressly condemning the terrorist attack in Israel at the hand of Hamas. The letter from the nonprofit Creative Community for Peace included 700 signatures and condemned Hamas for, quote, barbaric acts of terrorism in Israel that, quote, must be called out by everyone. I agree. It says the nightmare that Israelis have feared for decades became a reality as Hamas terrorists infiltrated Israeli cities and towns, the message stated. Under the cover of thousands of rockets fired indiscriminately into civilian populations, Hamas murdered and kidnapped innocent men, women, and children. And this is what we need to pay attention to because it's always on both sides, whether it's Israelis attacking Palestinians, Palestinians attacking Israelis, it's always the innocent people. It's never the top officials who are creating these wars. Do you understand? Okay. Where is this hate coming from? It's coming from the top. Let's go on. They kidnapped and murdered infants and the elderly. They raped women and mutilated their bodies, the letter said. And according to some reports that I'm reading and hearing, this is exactly what's going on. You cannot justify this. And it says, the letter goes to say, last weekend, article goes on to say, last weekend, Hamas terrorists invaded the southern part of Israel and began murdering innocent civilians, including men, women, and children. Over 1,300 people have died as a result of the attack. This is terrorism. This is evil. There is no justification or rationalization for Hamas actions, the letter said. These are barbaric acts of terrorism that must be called out by everyone. They are a terrorist organization whose leaders call for the murder of Jews everywhere. The letter further warned entertainment industry figures to, quote, speak out forcefully against Hamas. Notice what they're saying, speaking out against Hamas, not Palestine, not the Arabs, Hamas, which is a radical group that wants to murder, okay, innocent people. Okay, this is what this is all about. It's a cry for humanity. And it goes on, and be cautious about propaganda. Since our thoughts are with all those experiencing unfathomable levels of fear and violence, and we hope for the day when Israelis and Palestinians can live side by side in peace, the letter says. I totally agree. But I have my own view of that. And I might get into that when I begin to expound a little more in my commentary, but let's go on. The prominent celebrities who signed the letter include Mark Hamill, Deborah Messing, Ryan Murphy, Howie Mandel, George Lopez, Andy Garcia, and a few others. As Breitbart News reported, Bella Thorne urged her 25 million followers to be human and sympathize with Israelis during this time. You don't have to be, not like this part. You don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to be Israeli. You just have to be human. I totally agree. to care, to love, to take a stance. She wrote on Instagram, I'm a human being. That's the end of that article right there. Yes, I agree. More celebrities should come out and speak against this because, as I said, you have politicians and college professors. I forget that man's name. What's that college professor's name? The leftist college professor's name. I can't remember that man's name. He's running for president, by the way. But his words weren't as direct and strong, but I get what he was saying. Right off the back, he was like, well, in so many ways, he was saying, okay, well, they shouldn't be over there. You know, Israelis shouldn't be over there. And they had it coming to him in so many ways. That's basically what his word, I'm paraphrasing his words. I'm getting into the essence of what he was actually saying, okay? Okay, the reason why that's happening is because they have oppressed these people for so long, and Hamas needs to do what they need to do. No, you do not. You don't need to slaughter innocent men, women, and children. If, in fact, let's just say this, let's look at this picture here. Let's for the sake of argument say, okay, the Israelis are not supposed to be over there. They shouldn't be over there. They shouldn't be over there, period. Okay. Who initiated them being over there? The governments. I'm not going to go into the detail about that. You can do your own independent research. But the governments, okay, created this concept, this idea for them to be over there. Now, their time was already occupied. I'm not going to go into the detail of that. But it was the governments that initiated it. It was not the Jews. It was not the Palestinians. It was the government in those particular nations, rather, that initiated this idea. So now you have all these tensions going on. And guess what? When the Hamas organization, radical organization, was created, who did they take their hate out on? They say, yeah, we were going to take our hate out on Israel, the Israelites, because they shouldn't be there. But they didn't go. I mean, from what I understand, from the sources that I've read so far, it wasn't like Hamas went out and started kidnapping and killing and slaughtering people in the government. It was innocent people they were slaughtering. Now, you explain to me what's the rationale in any war. In any war, it's always innocent people, day-to-day people, minding their own business, doing their own thing. Those are the ones that suffer on both sides. On both sides. And it's good to hear that celebrities are speaking out against this. Because you got so many people that's, against the Israelites and against this and against. Look, man, look. It ain't the Israelites. It's not the regular Jews. It's the governments on both sides that's creating this kind of nonsense. And I'm going to be real with you. The American government is guilty of this too. When I say the American government, I'm talking about the officials in office. I'm not talking about the Constitution, Bill of Rights. It don't support none of that nonsense. It's the people in office who want power. It's creating these wars so they can get money. I don't need to go into detail. You know what the deal is. You know what the deal is. For those of you who are informed and in the know that's watching this video, you know what the deal is. Okay? They want what they want, and they're going to do whatever they need to do to get it. And if it's your life and my life they want to take and need to take, they'll do it. While they're sitting in high ivory towers debating on what land to take over and who to what to push so they can get their global government. That's what that's all about. But it's good, in the summary, that we have celebrities who are willing to risk popularity and risk future movies that they may be able to star in. It's good that they're willing to do this, to take a stand against what's going on because it's wrong. There's no justification for it. Even if, let's just say, for instance, even if an Israeli secret group or whatever initiated something against the Palestinians, it's always going to be innocent Palestinians that want to be murdered. It's not going to be people in the top. It's not going to be people in government positions. Don't you get what I'm saying here? Never going to be them. It's always going to be innocent people in just about every war. Now, let me end the video on this. Now, I said I would say about it, but here's the deal. Being a man of God and being a believer of the Bible, this is what I believe. I believe the Bible is the word of God. Look, I'm a minister. That's what I believe in the Bible, and I believe the Bible is the word of God. I'm not going to argue whether or not it is or not. I mean, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. That's what I believe. I've seen its effects throughout my own personal life. I've seen many of the prophecies come to pass. Just every prophecy that was in reference to Jesus Christ has come to pass. The future, so obviously the future prophecies are going to come to pass, but God has given us a chance, people the chance to get right with him. But that's another story, and I digress. Here's the point. I don't believe, just like the person said in an article, he says, well, we want peace between both the Israelis and the Palestinians. We want peace. I do too, but I don't believe it's going to happen until Jesus Christ comes back and literally sets up his kingdom here on earth. The book of Revelation teaches that he's going to do that. Now, whether or not people believe that or not, okay, I'm not going to get into all of that. That may be for a future video. You can listen to my religious station for that, the religious YouTube channel for that. But the deal is, I personally believe that that's not going to happen until Jesus Christ sets up his kingdom here on earth and people's hearts get changed, okay, among other things. What needs to be done right now is there needs to be peace treaties formed between the two groups, because there are extreme factions on both sides that want to destroy and wipe off the other group. And this goes back thousands of years, all the way back to the Old Testament. And I'm not going to even go into the detail of that, but it's in the Old Testament, and God prophesied that this would be the case. And we're seeing with our own physical eyes the prophecies that God had said would come to pass between these two groups. And that's I'll leave it there. No offense to anyone. I'm just telling you my belief based on the Bible, okay? And my understanding of the Bible, okay? So that's what I want to say there. This is good news. I'm glad that these celebrities are speaking out and taking the risk that is involved and saying, look, we need to stop this. You know, when Biden got up and said, well, we're siding with Israel. We're letting them know that we're allies and we're siding with them. I understand that. That's what you're supposed to do as a politician. You're a politician. You want your allies to know that you're with them, okay? But at the end of the day, to get up and say something like that and automatically say that you're with, I mean, it's going to stir more and more attention, okay? What you ought to be saying, in my opinion, is, yes, we stand by Israel, but at the same time, we condemn the actions of Hamas. And we condemn any actions of both that will take the lives of innocent people. It's wrong. There's no way of justifying it. You can say, where in war, there's always casualties. Yeah, but war comes from the darkness of the human heart. We wouldn't have war if people weren't so dark and rebellious against God. But that's just another story, okay? Not just against God, but against morality, against common sense. We wouldn't have all these wars. Now, would we? We wouldn't have all these wars if people weren't so greedy for money by selling these weapons of warfare to other people, so that we wouldn't have all these wars. But we do at this point in time. So once again, I commend these actors, and I hope and pray that they stand on their convictions. So that's what I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think about these actors making this statement in this article here? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.